Remembrance Sunday, the most poignant date in the calendar. Every year in cities, towns and villages across the UK, people come together to honour all those who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. For the people of Enniskillen in Northern Ireland, Remembrance Sunday 1987 was following the traditional pattern. By mid-morning on November the 8th, they gathered in the town centre as they always did.
People dressed in their good suits, the best, and their ladies all done up. And it was just normal morning in November, waiting for the parade to come.
Stephen Ross was 15. He and a group of friends met at a nearby church.
We were just standing round, sheltering in this building, waiting for the service to start. I still remember feeling cold, even with the jumper, with the westerly wind coming in off the Atlantic. We were used to gathering there every year, so this year was no different.
But this day would be different, very different.
Look at my watch, and literally, no sooner than I looked at my watch that moment, within a couple of seconds, the most horrendous bang.
Complete silence. And then all hell broke loose.
The group behind this devastation, the IRA. The bomb destroyed a wall next to where many of the locals were standing and sent masonry flying around the town square. Tommy joined the desperate effort to help rescue the victims beneath the rubble.
At that stage, we didn't know if there was anybody in the vicinity were throwing this way, just clear and making a path.
As the rescue effort went on, he found himself standing on top of a large piece of concrete.
We physically lifted the slab. There's this young boy lying underneath it, curled up in a ball.
That boy was Stephen. Despite being knocked unconscious by the blast, he can recall the exact moment he was freed.
I just remember those that pulled me from the rubble and their voices and saying, you know, don't worry, we'll get you to hospital soon.
Stephen's injuries were life-threatening. He was airlifted to a hospital 60 miles away, where he underwent a 5.5-hour operation on his shattered legs and face.
The surgeon drilled holes to put what was a wire cage to hold everything in place, and people will remember that of me being in hospital with my teeth wired, so I couldn't eat or drink.
Well, I feel very well. The nurses and doctors have been great to me. I've just a little slightly sore around my mouth. I have a fractured pelvis in this leg, and this leg's broken down to the bottom. But it's plastered and I can feel no pain at all.
Unbelievable. The images of what are portrayed of Stephen, and to show him what a bomb can actually do to a human being.
The IRA killed 11 people at Enniskillen. 63 more were seriously injured. By the 80s, the country had grown used to terrorist atrocities, but this one caused particular revulsion. Amid the gloom, Stephen's story offered some hope. The support from the public helped speed his recovery.
Absolutely amazing, the number of letters that I got from around the world. And, you know, the friends and relatives of those that have been killed and injured coming to see me in hospital made a big difference.
After 5 weeks of intensive treatment, Stephen was discharged.
Really makes you reflect on what you should be thankful for.
7 years after the attack, Stephen left for a new life in England. He's now married with children of his own, 3 daughters and a son.
My dad, my dad, my dad.
But this happy family life wouldn't have been possible had Tommy Hallowell not pulled him from the rubble on that dreadful November day back in 1987.
I've never met Tommy. I've never spoken to him about the events that day. It would be nice to talk to him about that and understand his memories of the day and to say thank you to him from the bottom of my heart, really.
Today, Stephen's travelling back to Northern Ireland to meet the man who helped save his life. When Tommy last saw him, He was being taken away from the bomb scene in an ambulance.
As soon as I see him, I'll know him. I'll know him.
How are you doing, sir? It's been a long time. Too long.
Long time back.
Lovely to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, in better shape.
Brilliant.
The last time you saw me. It is unbelievable it's taken this length of time to sort of put this together.
I always said there's a guardian angel. And he looks after each individual.
Definitely somebody was
Why,
looking
I'll
after
tell
me.
you two guardian angels that day.
Although Stephen's most serious injuries were to his leg, it was the damage to his jaw, nose and cheekbones that became an enduring image of the bombing. The pictures still have the power to shock.
For a young lad of 15, hey, that was a mess. And for me to see you today, you're smiling. You're still the same person.
It is amazing. I think when I also recall how close I was to being crushed to death, it was just complete chaos that day.
Today, he and Tommy are returning to Enniskillen to meet the Reverend.
Any memories?
You know, the memories are important, but I'm able to overcome what happened, and it doesn't haunt me to go past that site at all, Tommy.
I feel the exact same way. We in Enniskillen have nothing to be ashamed of.
It'll be wonderful to meet him today, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with him, just to hear a little bit more about the journey that he's been on, because he's been gone for so many years now. Stephen.
David, lovely to see you.
It's great to see you. Tommy.
And to you too.
Lovely to meet you again.
I've often wondered how you have managed to reflect on what happened.
I too had to deal with anger. I too had to deal with the tendency for bitterness. I think that there was such an abhorrence of what happened on all sides. It motivated people to come together and to say, this is not the kind of society in which we want to live.
The minister's life has remained in Enniskillen, but Stephen has now moved on. Today he's had the chance to thank Reverend Couples and the man who helped save him.
Tommy, thanks very much for today. I really appreciate everything that you've done. And I think just as a matter of appreciation, I've just got a picture here for my 4 kids, and they would not have been here except for you and the reaction of some of the people that helped you that day. So I just hope that's an encouragement to that, you know, that some positive things came out of what happened.
Thank you. The wife and I will cherish that. I give you a hug.
You certainly can. Take care. Hope to see you again soon.
Right. I have been waiting 26 years to meet Stephen.
It was really important for me to thank Tommy for what he did, even years after the event, for everything he did for me on that day.
He was an inspiration, and I mean that from the heart. It was great to see him.